Anybody going on there? And we'll see who rolls in. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Chris here at DoSpace, hosting another Lunch and Learn. We've got Leo Martinez here talking more about Power Purpose Leadership Communication from the Nebraska Enterprise Fund. Always a treat to have Leo with us, and hopefully that you're hopping in. We've got somebody, which is great. Leo, I knew it. We'd have some faces joining us.
Yay, that's awesome.
So I will go ahead and let you take it away.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for your time. Thank you, DoSpace, for allowing Nebraska Enterprise Fund time to bring these type of workshops to the community. I am a loan officer business mentor. I've been with the Nebraska Enterprise Fund for a little bit over 4 years, sorry. My name is Leo Martinez. We have offices here in Omaha and around the state. We are now serving Southwest Iowa as well. We do help businesses get connected with capital and technical assistance and training for your business. So if you at any point would like to get a coaching session, or you have some questions about your business, and you might need some funding, we'll be more than happy to talk to you. And if it's not related to funding and it's just more of questions about your business, we're also more than happy to talk to you. At the end of the presentations, I will leave my contact information in case you want to reach out. But today we're going to be talking about purpose more than anything. And as you see, the title of the presentation is The Power of Your Purpose. And we're going to be talking a little bit more into a personal side of your business, because as business owners, we bring two faces to our business. You bring your personal side, and then you bring the face of your business itself. So it is very important for us as business owners to understand and to realize very early on what are the pillars or the values that we bring to our business, because that is what is going to be translated to our customer service and to our client retention as we move forward with our business. So we'll be talking about that today. For anybody who's watching live, if you are on Zoom, feel free to drop your questions, comments on the chat. For all of you who are watching the recording, feel free to reach out, and then my contact information is going to be at the end of the presentation. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, or leave any questions on the comments, and I'm sure that that question will get relayed back to me in case you do need to. So let's get started. In life, there are two most important days in our lives, and I would argue that there's a third day. As more as I learn a lot about this, the first two are the day that you're born, and the second one is the day that you find why were you born. You know, the day that we realize what is the purpose that we have in life, or what we want to leave imprinted on this life. And the third day that the more that I think about it, I believe that there's a third day is the day after you die, and understanding that you really don't want, to leave the earth per se once you die, and not really have an impact in people. And again, we can talk about positive and negative impact, but regardless of living your life in such a way that after you pass away, there's people that miss you having you around. And you're not just a memory, but you actually are someone that has left something, some sort of a legacy from your generations to come. And that can come from different perspectives. Talking to a business owner a few weeks ago, we were visiting about this topic, and he was mentioning that the legacy that his family has is that everybody, since his grandpa, they've been entrepreneurs. They own cattle, and they own ranches and land, and they always been doing the farm, and that has something that has been passed down through generations. And that sort of legacy, he was worried that his kids no longer want to be part of. And so therefore we were looking into what other possibilities that he has that they can be carried on from generations to come. And so that brings us back to the 2 days that we're going to be talking about today. And we'll be focusing more on the day that we find out why are we here. You know, a lot of people might say, you know, I never know that I had a purpose in this world. I was just brought up for so many different problems in my house or whatever like that. And that's valid. That's absolutely valid, depending on what your background is. But nevertheless, we all have a reason for being and a reason for being here. So today we'll kind of try to focus a little bit on that. And one of the things that I want to, one of the questions that I want to focus on is in the next thing is, as child, you know, as you were younger, what are the things that you love doing back when you were a kid? If you want to drop some of the examples in the chat, that would be wonderful. If not, then that's perfectly okay. If you go back and think a little bit about your childhood, you know, there's some good things, there's some bad things, there's some really bad things. But when you focus about the things that you used to love, and that can be anything from playing with your friends to, you know, going out with your grandpa. I used to love to go with my grandpa, and we used to go to a park, just walk around, and he would just make up stories. I didn't know at the time they were just made up, but he would make the craziest stories ever, and I would just fantasize with all the characters that he was saying, and I will imagine that. And I did not know that down the road would help me with my imagination and the things that I can create, and the problem solving that I am able to do now. And I love to listen to people and kind of brainstorm new ideas on their business. And that is a huge part of me being a business mentor. So if we were to take a moment right now and think about what we did as children and what we love to do, that's a very good way for us to start, you know, focusing on what we're going to do with our business as well. Because if we just go for the money, as many of us think when we start a business, is going to be very hard for us to keep momentum because we don't have anything else to really push us through. And for that, for us to be able to keep going naturally, we always have to be pushing ourselves to actually want to like to do what we're doing. So one of the things that one of business owners that I have talked to is they love toys, and they have loved toys since they're kids. So their business is the resales of toys, and all he does and his family is buy toys in secondhand stores or thrift stores or garage sales, and then they resell it. And he loves it. There's no, I mean, that guy has just happiness all over every time I talk to him, just because he loves what he does. And that's one value that he brought up when he was a kid. The feeling that he gets when he buys a toy, and the memories that it brings when he was playing with him, he was a kid, when he plays with his kids, just remember the moments where he was when that toy he had it on his hand for the first time. It's something that still translates to his business. So whether you're doing cleaning, you know, if you have a cleaning business, it could be for several reasons. One could be just because you're really good at cleaning, and you decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Another one might be just because it's one of the easiest, not the easiest job, but the easiest industry to fall into, because of the nature of it and the demand of it. Or it could be just because you really, really love, or you just have an OCD on cleaning, and you're really good at it. That's definitely something that you can bring forward to your business. So whether that might be carpentry, electricians, plumbers, mechanics, whatever it is that you do, bring something that you love to do into your business. So that's the first take, is going back and realizing, what was that like? What was the moment in back when you were a kid, that brought you happiness and joy, and be able to translate that as a business owner? So that's definitely one. The other one, it's the challenging part, as we were talking about. We all have had challenging, um, you know, events happen in our lives that have shaped us in one way or another. We have experienced loss, we might have experienced abuse, we might have experienced, grief, but also there could be some good challenges. I remember that one of my biggest challenges back when I was a kid, and I was struggling so much, is I was trying to finish high school. Back then, I thought it was the hardest thing ever. Trying to juggle everything with the classes and everything, and at that time, that was my biggest challenge. Now you look back and you're like, well, yeah, that was, but not as much as having kids. So that has definitely changed the perspective in life. And so, as a business owner, you will have challenges. Nowadays, you're seeing customer service being challenged by a lot of our clients, especially coming out of COVID. A lot of the problems that we have being, away from other people, and losing that personal contact, you do kind of lose that empathy from other people. The frustration that we have had for the past few years, that translates as a customer service between your client and your business, and that is something that is going to be very challenging if you want to stay up in business, as you depend on your clients for sales. So one thing that we could do, and share a couple of your most challenging experiences, is think about what was hard for you then, and what do you do back then, to get through it, and see how we can translate that to your business, and understanding that life will present us with so many different challenges as we go through, and the person that you were then needs to be stronger or different than the person you need to be now to face those challenges. And that being said, then we definitely need to start thinking of strategies that will help us go and go past those challenges. So one thing that I would love for you guys to take out of this quick question is, when we're talking about your business and understanding that your values will support the growth of your business, that is something that you need to come up with very early on your business. So for example, if you are honest and you're a mechanic, which unfortunately I don't know many honest mechanics in my life, but I'm sure there are some of them over there. And if you know of one, let me know, because I haven't had the pleasure of meeting one just yet. But I'm sure that there's plenty of good, honest mechanics out there that I just haven't met. But if you are an honest mechanic, and you conduct your business in such a way that your clients know that they can trust you with their vehicle, that is huge. That's huge. People with house cleaning, your clients entrust you with their most precious items in their homes, their jewelry, everything is, that's where their kids sleep. That they trust you. And a lot of us don't understand, but food industry we really depend on the people preparing our food, and a lot of the times we tend to be pretty rude to those people, um, and we don't understand that they literally feed us. So translating all that into your business is huge. If there's any questions, feel free to drop them. Chris, if you see any questions on Facebook or such, feel free to let me know. And we're more than happy to stop and answer any questions you may have. Any comments, that'll be great too. So I'll just give you a couple seconds to see if there's any questions in there. We can keep going. All right. Awesome. So let's see. What do you love doing? And we're not talking about business. We're just talking about more about personal life. What, I mean, I know I have heard this question asked to me many times, and I'm sure you probably have too. But if we do take a time and we do ask ourselves, what do I love doing? What is really what drives me to, what could I really do all day? If you ask me, I love spending time with my kids. If I could definitely get paid to do that, I would definitely love, you know, homeschool and stuff with my kids. Unfortunately, I can't at the time, but I love just the being with them and stuff like that. I also know people that love singing. They love doing stuff like that. There's not a rule written anywhere that says that you cannot bring what you love to work. If you love reading, I was talking to one of my coworkers this morning, and they're going to start a new thing that I have never heard before, at least in our industry, and that was about creating a book club, and that's something about that I thought that was pretty neat. If you love reading and you have a business, why don't you? Oh, my kiddo just woke up. Why don't you bring something like that to your work and see if there's something that you can do with your clients, create kind of royalty program for your customers, and something that definitely it's brings some value to them. So there's something that you can definitely do, that you can have your clients do, and bring something that you love to it. I think that's something that you can really improve. Not very many businesses do that, and so that is something that we can definitely do. That is something that can really impact the life of your clients. And any questions so far? Any comments? If you hear someone coughing, that's my little kiddo. She's a little sick, so she's at home. Did I lose everybody? Can you hear me? Can you drop any? Okay, awesome. All right. I was like, can you drop some sign of anybody late? Okay, that's awesome. All right, yeah, good deal. Okay. The reason why this is so important to bring what you love into it is because that shapes the leadership purpose of your in your business. That translate as how you're gonna be perceived as a boss, as a manager, as a business owner, as a professional. Your values are gonna translate to your business on the customer service, on the customer retention, on the perks that you're gonna do, on the insurance or benefits that you're gonna provide to your employees. Back when we own a restaurant, one thing that we wanted to provide was some sort of insurance or chiropractor sessions for our cooks and for our servers. And we knew that was something that we can try to provide. We were not at the point where we could provide life insurance, but definitely was something that we wanted to provide our employees. And values like that, do translate to it. Chick-fil-A, they are very faith oriented, and they don't open on Sundays. I mean, so that's something that speaks to volumes on that, and they do encourage a lot of community service and volunteering and stuff on the folks that are employed there. And so that is definitely something that you can start thinking right now, and we'll talk here in the next slide. Something that we hear, something that we hear say from insurance agents. Maybe your financial advisor tells you too, but think about what is going to happen on your retirement and what was going to be your purpose. Say that you already have your business and you're thinking of an exit strategy, and you're going to retire here in the next few years. If you're going to sell your business, you want to know who that person is going to be. The person is going to buy it. Do they have the same values? Is your company name going to be associated with the new values that the new owner is going to have? If you're just going to sell your book of clients, are your clients aware that the new person has different values, different opinions of what you do? And if you don't really care about that, well, that's perfectly okay. But I'm sure that your clients are going to know, especially if you have had clients for a few years. And that is something definitely, if you are passionate about community service and the person that buys your business is not, is that going to impact the organizations that you help, or your business name is going to be associated differently? So as well, think a little bit about what are you going to do when you're retired. Unfortunately, we cannot just transfer our knowledge to folks as easily as we would like to. So what is it going to happen with all the knowledge that you have through the years? Are you going to mentor someone? Will you be able to, or open to take internships, or help in ways that you can with the knowledge that you have, and give it to someone else as well? That's something else that we're gonna keep in mind. Another thing is what is going to happen with your family as a whole. What does your family is going to bring or do as you grow? Is all of your family going to be involved in the business, or are the values that you have are shared through your family as well? We do understand, and I mean, believe me, I'm a father and a brother as well, and we know that not everybody in the family are gonna believe the same thing or do the same thing or be associated with the same thing, but there are values that you bring to your family that your family can definitely have, but creating a specific purpose of your family is something really cool to have and see your kids going into until they go into a certain age, and then they realize that they're either gonna keep it or they're gonna go their separate ways. But that we don't know. We don't know anything about that. So all we can do is really hope that that's gonna happen and do our best, and definitely hope for the best, prepare for the worst, right? All right. Any questions so far? About halfway through. No? All right. So when we're talking about creating your purpose, we want to visualize the impact that you're going to have. Here we say the world, but we're going to minimize it a little bit, and we're going to think about your business, and we're going to think about your family. And we do need to be specific. What do you want to have, or what impact do you want to create in your family as an individual? Do you want to create a trustworthiness in your family, knowing that they can come to you, you will listen, not so much critic what they're saying, but you will understand and listen and understand that everybody has their own opinion? Are you faith related? Are you faith oriented? Sorry, are you a hard worker? All those are values that you can translate to your family, but you need to be specific. You cannot just say, well, I hope I can do this and I hope I can do that, and then just kind of be vague about it. So that's one thing that we need to start, and when we're talking about creating the purpose that we want. The other thing is that we need to understand what really motivates us, and we talked about, that's why we did the exercise of going back when we were kids. What motivates you to go? Do you want to go on that vacation? Is that a vacation really that you want to go, or is it because you want to be away from your job? Is it that you want to buy this vehicle? Is it because of the brand of the vehicle, or is it because you need a bigger vehicle for you or your family, or what are you going to do? Are your goals today really align with your big picture when we talked about retirement and when we talked about your legacy? And make sure that they don't conflict with each other. So there's an exercise that Warren Buffett and Mike Flynn they did a while back when Mike Flynn was Warren Buffett's pilot. And a story goes that he's been working for Buffett for so many years, and Warren Buffett one day asked him why he's still working for him. And he ended up saying, I really like, the work and whatever. But then Buffett asked him, is what are the things that you love to do? And then he just stopped and couldn't really respond. And Buffett said, next time we meet, why don't you bring a list and we'll talk about it? And that happened. And then Warren Buffett asked him, I want you to really list your 25, or make a list of your 25 priorities in life. Whether it's a project or anything like that, and put it in paper. Put anything goes. Take away the money, take away the responsibilities, take away the time off, anything goes. Just write down 25 things that you are desperate, tired, and wanted to do, your priorities in life, and just write them down. And he's like, okay. And then the next time they met, Warren Buffett asked him to number them 1 through 25, being 1 the most important, and 25 the least important at that moment. And so he did. And then Buffett asked him, okay, then I want you to go ahead and circle 5 out of those 25. And those are going to be your top 5 that you're going to focus in the next 3 years. And then what about the other 20? Well, the other 20 are there for you to complete as well, but you're going to focus on the first 5. And I remember when I first did this exercise, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to have a self-sustaining job so I can spend more time with my family. And those were my 5-year plans. So I remember doing this exercise myself. So that's something that is very dear to my heart. So I would challenge you for today homework to go ahead and write down 25 top things that you want to do in life, and number your top 5, and focus those 5 for the next 3 years. What are the things that you need to do to accomplish those 5 things in the next 3 years? Whether that is in a new job, okay, well, what do you need to do to get a new job? Either going to school, get a certificate, learn new skill, maybe new language, find friends that work in the same industry or anything like that. So what can you do now to prepare yourself for the next 3 years to be where you want to be? And then we're going to bring in more and be a little more specific. What do you need to do in the next year to accomplish those 5 things in the next 3 years? So, okay, well, you need to go to school. Okay, well, how many classes you need to take this year to get ready for the next 3 years? And then after that, what do you need to do? We'll keep narrowing it down. What do you need to do in the next 6 months to accomplish those things? And that might be enrolling in school, if that's what your goal is. That getting mentors, learning about the industry. And then we narrow even more down. And what do you need to do in the next month to do that? maybe creating a budget, maybe start looking for supplement hours that you need to do, or trying to change your schedule so you're a bit more flexible. And then one last more is, what do you need to do in the next week to do that? And here's where we lose a lot of our focus, is because we know what we want to do, we know how long we want it to take us, but when it's time for us to move and to take action, we don't do that. And so the challenge is for you to start doing that, and to create your top 25 and circle your top 5, and really nail down what do you need to do in the next 3 years to complete them, in the next year, in the next 6 months, in the next week, to start moving the needle towards what you want to do and towards your purposes. And at the end of the day, believe in yourself and believe that you can, and that every day that you can be inspired to live, with intention and purpose, to grow yourself, not just wish and believe that it's going to happen, because nobody's going to come and save us. Nobody's going to come and give us a better job or better paycheck or better house or anything. It's our job to go out there and look for it. So believing is the first thing that we need. But hopes is a terrible strategy. So understanding what we need to do, our purposes, our plans, and started breaking it down by the 3 years, the year, 6 months, and week. It kind of gives us a very good starting point on that. So I really hope that helps. This is my contact information, extension, and email. Feel free to reach out. This is a topic that is very dear to my heart, but we only had limited time to talk about it. So I really appreciate the time that DoSpace has provided us. I really appreciate Chris. Thank you for being here, moderator for me, and for all of you guys joining, either on live or on the recording. And I appreciate that. Thank you so very much for spending your time, Chris.
Yeah, thank you so much, Leo, for helping us. Yeah, just realize that, besides the crunching the numbers part of business, starting and figuring out what you're doing with the rest of your life, it's good to reflect and kind of think about what you want personally out of the whole experience. So always appreciate your insight. For those of you that are watching, always check our calendar on our website for more Lunch and Learns and other programming to continue to help you pursue your passions and your dreams. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you all next time.
Thank you. Have a great day.